All right, so in our previous video, I walked through and I showed you guys exactly how to go through and upload and create a new video. So we created a new video, we've got how to upload them and do all those things, but one of the missing pieces was how to actually get a phone number to attach it to the video, because you want to have a phone number that when this phone number gets called, so you got that phone number on the video, you got the phone number in the URL, or not on the URL, but on the actual page. So when they go to that URL, they'll see the phone number and actually call it. But if you put your client's phone number on the video, then there's no way for you to track and see how many calls you're actually sending. And what we like to do is a pay-per-call model. So if someone dials that number and they meet a certain criteria, meaning if they're on the phone for 60 seconds or more, then that is a qualified lead. And if we send a qualified lead, we want to get paid a certain amount. So you got to be able to track it. So this is the first service that I started using. Now, let me go ahead and preface this. This is not a service that I would recommend if you are trying to scale a business. And I will explain that more in the next video that you probably will see below this video. But this is a great service when you're just trying to see if this whole thing works. Now, I know it works, but if you're just starting with this stuff, you may not see how effective this is yet. So I want you to start off with something that's fairly easy. So what I would say is I would start off with a few campaigns inside the service, and it's called CallFire. But the only main problem with CallFire is that it doesn't do auto billing. So if you're sending in a lot of leads, you've got to manually go in and pick out what leads were qualified and then send an invoice to your client. So let's actually go in, and I'm going to show you how to use CallFire to set up forwarding numbers so you can track these calls. But I want you to understand that if you plan on getting a lot of clients down the road, there are solutions that are a little bit better. The problem is you have to pay a little bit more up front for those solutions. It's not much more, but with CallFire, you can get started really cheaply just to see if the system works. All right, so let's jump in. The first thing we're going to do is when you log into CallFire for the first time, you're probably going to have to put in some payment information. Once you put in that payment information, though, this is how you set up a new forwarding number. We're going to go in and we're going to go to numbers at the top of the screen. So we've got numbers, and what we want to do is we want to buy a new number. So we're going to buy a new number, and on this screen it lets you look up a number in your local area. So let's say that I was looking for something in the Arkansas area, which is where we do a lot of our business. We're going to go through and search with an 870 area code. You can also search by zip code, so I can type in the zip code that I'm actually living in. If you're in a bigger city, you can do that. And like I said, with some of the things we've included, we've got the biggest cities on for each state. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and we're going to search for this particular number. It's not finding any numbers associated with the zip code, so I'm going to try our area code. So with our area code, we're going to jump in and not giving me anything for some reason, so it's wanting to be a little testy, and that's what happens when we do this. So let's try something else. All right, so went with a different area code in the area, and now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go in and pick a number. So you're going to pick a number, and it will allow you to purchase this number. Now, I'm not going to purchase one of these numbers because I don't have anything to attach it to, but after you purchase one of these numbers, it's going to put it in your dashboard. So let's jump back to the dashboard, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. All right, so going to go back here real quick, and going to go to our phone numbers, and this is what it looks like when they get put inside of your dashboard. So inside of the dashboard, we go in and you're actually going to select this here. So we're going to check that box and we're going to go to configure tracking. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. Your client's number that you're going to be forwarding the calls to, you're going to actually put their phone number in here. So let's do... Now, obviously, that's not a real number, but this will get us started. So 870-555-5555, and that's going to be the client that we're running it to. So whatever number that you're actually attaching to, whatever your client is, or whoever you're wanting to be your client, depending on how you sell this, and we'll go through sales a little later. However you're going to sell this, you're going to put their number here. So whatever number this is, the one you purchased, that's what you're going to put in your video. This is the number that you're going to forward that to. Now here's how it works. I like to record the calls. The reason we record the calls is if a client of ours says that these are not good leads, I like to make sure I can play the call back and show them that if they're not good leads, well, it's probably because your sales staff or your front desk person is not doing a good job converting these leads. And then we can go in and actually train these people how to do this. And that's not hard at all. It's just being polite and really working with the customer. Now the next thing is we have a couple options here. We have a failed transfer message, we have an intro message, and a whisper message. The real keys here are an intro message and a whisper message. So this is what I do. I'll go to select message, and then I will go in and I will say create new message. I'll click text to speech and I'll say your call is being transferred to our plumber on call, if we were following the plumber model. Then I'm going to select one of these, and then you just put play.
Your call is being transferred our plumber on call.
And I forgot to, when she reads it back, you can tell if you forgot something. So now I forgot to put 2 in there.
Your call is being transferred to our plumber on call.
And that's what's going to be played to the person that is actually calling. So if somebody was looking for an emergency plumber, we just put in a message that they're going to hear while the number is being transferred. Now, the whisper message is what your client is going to hear. So this is what we like to do. We go in and we actually have a message that we set up, and I set it up the same way where we just typed it in. And we actually have, this is a call. Let me play this for you.
This is a call from your 33 Productions lead service.
So if it was coming from our lead service, we would type in the name of our lead service. So the client hears when they pick the phone up, it rings like normal on their side, but when they pick the phone up, that message plays before it connects them with the client, so they know it's coming from the lead service. So we can do that, and then we actually click finalize. When you click finalize, everything is now set up, and then we're going to go back to our dashboard so you can see what that actually looks like. Now, a connected number looks a little something like this. Now, here we've got a number that has not actually gotten any phone calls yet, so you're going to see some pending stuff on it when it first starts. If you see 2 pendings there, don't worry. As soon as there's a call that goes through, that will shut off. But for instance, like this number in McKinney, Texas, we're doing dental with, it's got 24 calls, 5 transfers in the last little bit. So 24 calls, 5 transfers actually to the company, and that's the number that we're actually transferring to, and that's how you track it. Now you can go in and you can actually set up, do you just want to see this week, this month, and you can see how that actually goes through. But you can see really quickly how it gets difficult to manage too many clients, and that's it. But now when you first get started, use this service. It's relatively cheap to get started, and you can see how well this works. You can get your videos up fast. But I would fully recommend that if you're going to turn this into a business where you're working with a lot of businesses and you want to automate pretty much the majority of this business, watch the video below in the call tracking service that we use now. It was built by a very good friend of mine, and it is something that they put a lot of work into. And the cool thing about it is the service in the next video, they auto bill. So if you're running any leads through this number, it allows them, your clients, to be billed automatically based on the leads that came through, and for them to pay you pretty much automatically. And then if they don't pay, a generated report from that service tells you this person hasn't paid. But that takes your hands off 90% of all the work if you have it auto billing. Then CallFire won't do that. But CallFire is an excellent way to start out if you've never done much of this before. However, check out the next video and I'll show you what we're using now so that you can do all the things that we're doing with CallFire, as well as how we are pretty much auto billing and getting paid pretty much on autopilot to send leads. It's a great business model, and this is how we put it all together. So I'll see you in the next video where we show you kind of the more advanced call tracking that we're doing now, and I think you're going to love it. All right, I'll talk to you soon.